What if I told you that behind Ricki Lake's bubbly on-camera persona lies a story of guts, grit, and reinvention that most people only glimpse in headlines? From her breakout role as the plucky teen in John Waters' Hairspray to bearing her soul on daytime talk shows, Ricki has never shied away from peeling back the curtain on her own struggles. She's faced crippling body image fears, battled hair loss in silence, weathered devastating personal losses and skeptical doctors, and still managed to redefine success on her own terms. Stick around, because we're about to trace the path of a woman who refused to be boxed in by other people's expectations, and in the process became a testament to what real resilience looks like. In 2011, a hesitant Ricki Lake surprised fans by stepping onto the Dancing with the Stars ballroom floor. She'd turned down every prior invitation, terrified of the skimpy costumes and of being lifted on national TV. "It was one of the scariest things I've ever done," she admitted later, confessing that she'd long equated dances in Lycra with exposing her weight insecurities. Yet, as she twirled and dipped with partner Derek Hoff, something shifted. Night after night, she shed layers of self-doubt, and to the astonishment of many, Ricki glided all the way to the finals. Finishing third wasn't just a trophy, it was proof that she could stare down her fears and come out stronger. Buoyed by that newfound courage, Ricki dove headfirst back into daytime television in 2012 with a revamped Ricki Lake show on Oprah Winfrey's own network. She embraced topics that resonated deeply: women's health, social justice, relationships, but the ratings never caught fire the way they had during her 11th-season run in the 90s. When the show was canceled after one season, Ricki shrugged off the setback, quipping that nothing in her career had ever been a conscious choice, just opportunities that presented themselves. Instead of seeing it as a failure, she treated it as a reminder that reinvention sometimes means knowing when to let go. Long before medical marijuana and televised dance-offs, Ricki Lake set her sights on changing the conversation around childbirth. After giving birth to her first son in a hospital and her second at home, she co-directed the 2008 documentary The Business of Being Born. With camera in hand, Ricki interviewed midwives, obstetricians, and expectant parents, laying out the pros and cons of hospital births, home births, and C-sections. The film struck a chord with women nationwide, igniting debates about women's autonomy in labor rooms. In her trademark style, warm, relatable, unafraid, Ricki insisted she wasn't pushing one choice over another, but simply demanding that all options be respected. A decade later, Ricki teamed up again with director Abby Epstein to tackle another controversial health topic: cannabis medicine. Weed the People, released in 2018 after 5 years in the making, follows families fighting for legal access to medical marijuana to ease chemotherapy side effects in children with cancer. Through intimate interviews and courtroom footage, Ricki challenges decades of stigma, asking why a plant used as medicine for millennia has been demonized for only the last 80 years. The documentary earned praise for its compassion and urgency, and it cemented Ricki's reputation as an advocate unafraid to take on entrenched systems. Let's rewind further back to 1988, when 18-year-old Ricki Lake walked into a John Waters audition for Hairspray with little clue of the cultural storm she was about to unleash. Cast as the irrepressible Tracy Turnblad, Ricki became the living embodiment of teenage rebellion, pastel hairspray, and all. Waters later marveled that even if 10,000 girls had auditioned, Ricki still would have landed the role. Overnight, she went from college student to cult movie icon, a status that spawned a Broadway hit and a 2007 remake, though her own hair, teased and triple processed for the film, would later pay a price she couldn't have anticipated. By 2019, Ricki was back in reality TV mode, but this time under a full-body Raven costume on The Masked Singer. Known for her talk show oversharing, she relished the secrecy, playing detective alongside judges and viewers. Week after week, she belted out tunes from behind her mask, reminding everyone she'd trained as a singer long before she became a daytime staple. Though she was the 6th celebrity voted off, the real victory lay in rediscovering her joy for performance, without the weight of self-consciousness. Just when people thought they'd seen it all, Ricki dropped a bombshell on Instagram in January 2020, a buzz cut revealing years of hair loss. She traced the problem back to that early hairspray damage, compounded by stress, pregnancy hormones, and dieting fads. For too long, she'd hidden her thinning strands with extensions, wigs, and even steroid shots. It was debilitating, embarrassing, painful, depressing, lonely, she wrote. But by exposing her vulnerability, Ricki transformed a source of shame into a bridge of empathy, giving countless women the courage to speak up about their own invisible battles. Behind all the cameras and applause, Ricki's personal life has been a roller coaster of love and heartbreak. She married producer Rob Sussman in 1994, with whom she had sons Milo and Owen, before their divorce in 2003. A second marriage to jewelry designer Christian Evans in 2012 ended 2 years later. And in 2017, Christian, tragically, took his own life. Ricki described the ordeal as the deepest kind of grief, acknowledging both her love for him and the devastation of his bipolar disorder. Yet, amid that darkness, she found light again when she met Ross Birmingham in 2021. The couple wed in January 2022, and Ricki has called him her stellar human, the partner who reminds her that fresh chapters can begin at any age. In late 2023, another doubting voice, this time a doctor, told Ricki she'd never succeed at losing weight. Rather than retreat, she turned that skepticism into fuel for a transformation. Embracing a clean-eating regimen and intermittent fasting, Ricki shed over 30 pounds, celebrating each milestone with an Instagram post that read, essentially, "If I can do it, so can you." More than a before and after photo, her journey underscored a deeper message. Self-care isn't vanity, it's the foundation for every dream you still want to chase. Most recently, Ricki shared a 1-year retrospective on her decision to get a facelift in 2024. Having lost 40 pounds, she noticed stubborn sagging under her chin that no workout could erase. With characteristic transparency, she posted every stage, from pre-op sketches to recovery photos, calling the surgery icing on the cake of a confidence she'd built long before picking up a scalpel. She underscored that while the procedure addressed a physical concern, it didn't define her worth, a lesson in knowing when to lean on medical advances without letting them rewrite your sense of self. Through every twist, Hollywood stardom, talk show triumphs and flops, crusading documentaries, reality TV ventures, personal losses, health battles, and beauty interventions, Ricki Lake has proven that life rarely follows a straight script. Instead, she's embraced tangents, detours, and setbacks, weaving them into a narrative of bold authenticity. Today, Ricki doesn't just remind us to expect the unexpected. She shows us how to greet it with curiosity, courage, and a wholehearted belief that reinvention isn't just possible. It's the ultimate act of self-love.